Welcome back to Type Jam Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This is going to talk about the PlayStation Classic and what games I recommend that they fill those other 15 slots up with. Now, I'm going to do way more than 15 games, but these are the ones that I recommend because of A, I like them, B, people I know like them, C, they sold well, and D, well, I see them everywhere. First off, I'm going to talk about Ava Skate. Now, Ava Escape's a good game, and it's a different format, and it's a different game. Yeah, I only played it on PlayStation. If it was on another system, well, I guess that I just did not notice that. That's going to be my first one. Second one I recommend actually came on the Nintendo 64, but I played it on the PlayStation, and I found it on the PlayStation, and I just made that crack, and today, getting ready for this video, I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, it's as an adult collector, the games you buy new, you know are going to work perfect, and they're like new. The next one we'll talk about is Contra Legacy of War. Now, it's not exactly the best game in the world, and I think I grabbed another game behind it. Oh, no, you can't see that one yet. That's my favorite one. So, Contra Legacy of War wasn't a great game, but it really showed you some 3D capabilities and what the PlayStation can do. So it's my third game in a row, Contra Legacy of War. Now, I don't see that on the Nintendo 64. Do you see that on the 64? If there's a Nintendo 64 version of that, please give me a link. I'd like to see that. Ninja Shadow Darkness. Now, I only know this to ever return. This is by far my favorite game ever made for the PlayStation. I love this game. In fact, I love it so much, bought a second copy like a year ago, just because I love it. Why not? I mean, yeah, I'm already insane, so let's just prove it. Next, I want to talk about Rebel Assault 2. Yeah. Rebel Assault 2 was on, what system was it on? It was on PC, right? But there's no Rebel Assault 2 for Nintendo 64, or I would own it as a vintage Transformer and Star Wars collector. I would have every game because I do, and it doesn't exist on the Nintendo 64. And this consumed my life when it came out. And I hate to admit it, but yeah, it did. It's the best game when it came out. Better games came. As you can hear in the background, my original copy of Crash Bandicoot is playing. Crash Bandicoot has to come out. I would say the original should come out. More people like number 3, Warped, better, but I think that the original has charm and appeal, and really, to me, it's the one that should happen. Now, I loaned this to my sister, and she never returned the booklet, but whatever. But if you like 2, you can vote for 2. If you like 3, vote for 3. Warped. Next is Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil is a game that's on lots of different systems, but PlayStation seemed to be the home for it for a while. And then I think they started porting Resident Evils to the GameCube. But go ahead and leave in comments if there's a Resident Evil on Nintendo 64, because I have 100 plus Nintendo 64 games, no Resident Evil. Mega Man. Now, I don't see a Mega Man on Nintendo 64 either, because that's what the system's going to go up against. But anyway, any of the Mega Mans they put out, there's like 6 Mega Man games they put out on the PlayStation. Why did Nintendo, well, Capcom, whatever, put out all the X-Mans on this? Metal Gear Solid. Now, I guarantee this will be on there. This will be on the system. If this isn't on the system, there's something wrong. Metal Gear Solid. Next, Spyro. Now, I'm going to have a few Spyro games. I never played Spyro back in the day. And when I play it, it's really just to test that the disc works. Because I really don't care. I don't care about Spyro at all. I think it's kind of a weird kind of thing. But people love it, so whatever. But there's going to be a Spyro game on it, right? You hope? Jet Moto. Now, Jet Moto and Jet Moto 2, I really don't know the difference between the two. This is the one I played the most. Jet Moto 2, I spent like 20 or 30 minutes playing, and I didn't really care. This one is probably what's going to be on it. But Jet Moto is a good game with a wave racer kind of game, and I liked it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I liked it. Next, we'll talk about Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. And the Phantom Menace, at the time, Star Wars was really starving for content. We're not in the times like today where we are so overtaken by Star Wars that we're sick of it. And I know fans are sick of the Disney Star Wars because that's not really Star Wars. It's kind of like faux Star Wars. It's kind of like fake Star Wars. But that's how I felt about this. I felt this was not real Star Wars. Why are we wasting the money and time on this when we could have a great original trilogy adventure? But I played it anyway. And it's a sign of the times, which kind of is what the PlayStation Classic is. The PlayStation 1 Classic is a sign of what happened in the 90s. Then Twisted Metal. Now I have a few Twisted Metals. Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal 3, Twisted Metal 4, and I don't really know where my Twisted Metal Black is. Somewhere around here. But anyway, Twisted Metal is going to be on there, one way, shape, or form. But can you really argue with me when I say, boom, Tomb Raider is going to be on this? There's got to be some sort of Tomb Raider. Now, I've got 5 or 6 Tomb Raider games. Chronicles, blah, blah, blah. Some sort of Tomb Raider is going to be on it. Next. Now, I like this Tetris game. Now, it may not show up on it, but I like how they reinvented Tetris. Now, I guess I'm a complete loser because I don't have any sort of box art or anything for Castlevania. But Castlevania Symphony of Night, and there's my local Game King where I bought it from back in the 90s. It is probably the best Castlevania game ever made. If you disagree with me, leave it in the comments because I like hearing disagreements. But yeah, it'll be on there. Like, this is the Titanium Hanger guarantee. It'll be on there. I guarantee this. Wait, maybe it won't. Battle Arena Toshinden. Now, this is kind of Nintendo's fight back at the Sega Saturn's fighter they had. But anyway, this was a good game. And I don't have cover art because I suck, so there you go. Next, I want to talk about Strider 2. Strider 2 is a great game. I love Strider 2. It was everything I liked in the first Strider, but it felt more refined, more powerful, and when you hit your buttons, it didn't glitch out and your character disappear half the time. It actually worked. So, I mean, they used the extra 700,000 megabytes, whatever. I think this is a sign of the times, too. Pandemonium was also on the Sega Saturn, and the Sega Saturn lost in the race. So I guarantee you 500,000 more copies of this sold than on the Saturn, which I kind of love the Saturn in a way, but not nearly as much as I love my PlayStation 1 or my 7, 8, 9, 10 on PlayStation 1. So, in conclusion, what do you think about my list of PlayStation games? And then what's your list of PlayStation games when they make next year's version, which is the PlayStation Classic Mini with a screen, and you can play it everywhere you want, remote control built in, blah, blah, blah. Well, who knows what's going to happen in the future to do your hanger out.